This is the United Kingdom, but not the one in your guidebook. I'm Gemma Blythe, and I'm exploring the UK in all its bold, weird, breathtaking glory. From hidden history to indie art scenes, cream teas to coastal hikes, this is the real journey. Honest, imperfect, unforgettable. It's not about checking boxes, it's about finding stories, one corner at a time. Life with Gemma Blythe, exploring the UK. New episodes every week. Subscribe and come wander. This is the United Kingdom, but not the one in your guidebook. I'm Gemma Blythe, and I'm exploring the UK in all its bold, weird, breathtaking glory. From hidden history to indie art scenes, cream teas to coastal hikes, this is the real journey. Honest, imperfect, unforgettable. It's not about checking boxes, it's about finding stories, one corner at a time. Life with Gemma Blythe, exploring the UK. New episodes every week. Subscribe and come wander.
Welcome to Imperfect TV, where we embrace the messy, the real, and the beautifully unfinished. I'm Gemma Blythe, and this is your Monday morning guided journaling session, your space to breathe, reset, and begin the week with intention. Mondays can feel overwhelming, but they also hold a quiet power, a fresh start, a chance to realign with what truly matters. So, before the emails, the to-do lists, and the noise of the day take over, let's pause together. Take a deep breath in and out. Let's start this morning by checking in with ourselves. You don't have to get it perfect. Just honest. Let your thoughts flow without judgment. This is your time, your space, your moment to be fully present with yourself. So grab your journal, settle in, and let's write. I'll be here with you, guiding you along the way. Because growth isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, even on the messy Mondays. Let's begin. Oh, yay. Morning, everybody. How are we doing this morning? Welcome to your Monday morning journaling session, all about nurturing yourself this morning and creating those all-important self-care rituals. So it's all about delving in and finding out what you find comforting more than anything. So this isn't about what comforts your best friend or anything like that. It's about what comforts you in times that you need. That's what we're doing this morning. So get everything together and let's take a few deep breaths this morning before we begin. So breathe in and out. I'm just going to play a quick video just to relax. So center yourself, ground yourself, and find your notebook and a pen. Let's do this. Okay, so this morning then, first thing that we're going to be working on is the self-care practices that you maybe use already to help you feel more grounded and more together when in times that you need it. So when life feels chaotic and overwhelming and messy, do you find solace in nature, meditation, journaling? I mean, I hope you find solace in journaling because you're here. Or a deep breathing exercise, of which there are so many. So, what do you find useful and that works for you? Because as I've already mentioned, what works for you maybe doesn't work for other people or anybody else that you know of. So that's what I want you to focus on. And then write about the practices that bring you a sense of calm. That can be really difficult to pinpoint because sometimes life is so busy and chaotic that everything just happens in a blur. So knowing what comforts you and helps you to relax can be sometimes really challenging to pinpoint unless you do something that makes you stop completely. Then it might not be. But let's see what you come up with this. I'm going to put the prompt up on the screen. Oh, this one then. What self-care practices or rituals help you feel grounded and at peace, even during stressful or overwhelming times? I will leave this up on the screen. I will play a quick video again, and then we'll come back and share some reflections on this one. Okay, so what did you come up with for that? Because it can be so challenging to be able to get out of your head for just a few moments. However, one thing that I can recommend, especially if you love deep breathing and you want to try something that makes you completely stop. During this, I would recommend that you look up Wim Hof. He's known as the Iceman. Okay, bear with me. So, Wim has been doing ice baths and things like that for so many years. There's only one thing that I know to help me, and that's cold plunges. It doesn't have to be extreme. You don't have to add ice. If you want to, you can, by all means. But before you do, read Wim Hof's book. I will put the link in the description because it's incredible what he has been through to develop his own practices. So then we have loads. It's unbelievable. And the things that he's done with science is just incredible. So take a look at that because I know there's a few documentaries around on YouTube. Maybe I will share a few on my page or down in the comments even, just so then you've got something to look back on and a resource. So let me know if you would find that useful. Because to me, it's so important to find something which makes you feel grounded during everyday, busy, overwhelming, hectic life. So, moving on from that, we're now focusing on self-care. So let me just move my phone out of the way. That would be useful, wouldn't it? Move it down here, actually, then I can see. Okay, so this is all about how your body responds to self-care and which activities can help you reconnect to yourself in a loving way. Because earlier on in this series, we looked at how you lose connection with yourself. So this is all about how your body responds to making that reconnection again, to knowing what you're doing every day to reconnect to yourself, but not in a harmful way. This is a crucial thing. None of this is harmful for you. This all gets you used to looking at yourself and thinking about yourself in a healthier, more positive, more productive way. So, as you think about this, what helps you feel more present in your body? Such as gentle movement, yoga, stretching, or simply even resting. So as we head into this journaling time now, think about those things. Think about how your body reacts. It could be in a positive way. It could be in a negative way. But then think about what activities you could do to help combat that. Is there something healthier that you could say to yourself before you take the time to do any of these activities? So take a few moments now to think about that and process it and really take your time. Okay. Okay. So what did you come up with for that? It can be so good to consider all these different things that help you feel safe, grounded, and most importantly, cared for. But right now, here's messages from the channel that Imperfect TV is now sponsoring. We'll be right back. Change of plan, that didn't work, did it? So, right. So when you're feeling safe and grounded, what does that mean for you? So somebody else I can recommend that you look up is Fern Cotton. Now, Fern's been doing yoga and meditation for years. She's openly struggled with panic attacks and anxiety to really high levels. But at the same time, she's a radio DJ and podcast host. When I was younger, she used to host Top of the Pops here in the UK and different things like that. Her face was all over the place. So in her book, she talks about what you can do to make you feel happy and calm and quiet. And those are the titles of her 3 books. So I absolutely recommend that you check those out because the level of detail that she goes into about just how much she's had to combat throughout her life is amazing. So check out that one as well. So what rituals have you discovered that help you feel safe, grounded, and cared for? Maybe there's more that you can add later on. So then you can come back to this and look at everything again and make more points of the original points that you made. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. And this goes into a little bit of last week's as well. So if you think about self-compassion and what we talked about last week, this isn't too far from that. It's expanding on it though. So here we go. What small acts of self-compassion do you incorporate into your daily life to show yourself kindness and care? So think about the small things that you can do daily, or maybe you do daily, that make a difference as to how you feel about yourself and about others around you as well, because that's crucial as to how you think about yourself and others. And then maybe you offer yourself a kind thought, a cup of tea, a warm blanket, or just time for a few quiet moments just to process. And I think we can all agree that there's nothing that a cup of tea won't fix. So write about those small things, the small things that you may not think about, but that you do every day. And maybe it's time to start thinking about them as small acts of self-compassion, rather than brushing them off as things that you just do. So take a few moments now to think about that, and then we'll come back together and I'll share some more reflections with you.
Imperfectly, perfectly, we grow step by step. We let the pain go. In this space, we heal. You know, it's all about the journey, not the show. Living imperfectly, perfect. It's true. We rise on our struggles, break through. Together, we'll find something brand new. 'Cause living imperfect is what we do.
This is the United Kingdom, but not the one in your guidebook. I'm Gemma Blythe, and I'm exploring the UK in all its bold, weird, breathtaking glory. From hidden history to indie art scenes, cream teas to coastal hikes, this is the real journey. Honest, imperfect, unforgettable. It's not about checking boxes, it's about finding stories, one corner at a time. Life with Gemma Blythe, exploring the UK. New episodes every week. Subscribe and come wander. This is the United Kingdom, but not the one in your guidebook. I'm Gemma Blythe, and I'm exploring the UK in all its bold, weird, breathtaking glory. From hidden history to indie art scenes, cream teas to coastal hikes, this is the real journey. Honest, imperfect, unforgettable. It's not about checking boxes, it's about finding stories, one corner at a time. Life with Gemma Blythe. Exploring the UK. New episodes every week. Subscribe and come wander.
The journey, not the show. Living imperfectly perfect. It's true. We rise on our struggles. Break through. Together we'll find something brand new. 'Cause living imperfect is what we do. Imperfectly perfect. Let's go.
Okay, so what did you come up with? This is all about making the small acts of self-compassion that you have at the moment a priority. So maybe there are things that you do at the moment just because they're things that you do, and not necessarily things that somebody tells you to do, but things maybe you do at the same time as somebody else. So this is all about putting yourself first and helping you to realize that you can make self-care a priority and therefore self-compassion a priority without thinking about what anybody else is doing around you. So I would strongly, strongly advise for you to come back to this one later on and for you to make more notes, or if you've done like a mind map, more things going on around the outside, and maybe use a highlighter to tell yourself that you already do those things, or you find those useful. But that's just me. I'm mad when it comes to color coding. So let's move on to the next one now. And this one leads nicely on to habit stacking, which I think I've mentioned previously. But habit stacking is where you start off with maybe one or two habits, and then you build up from that. So the more you build up from your habits, the more healthy habits you'll have, in theory. So say that you wanted to try a new practice of meditation. So you start off for maybe 1 week with meditation. Then maybe another week might pass, and then you think, oh, I know, I want to add yoga in. So then you add yoga in to add another layer. So it's all about layering and stacking your different habits and making them work for you instead of the other way around. So this prompt, when you're feeling emotionally drained or triggered, what rituals help you to soothe yourself and restore your energy? So, when you're feeling emotionally depleted, triggered, or overwhelmed by traumatic feelings coming back, do you find comfort in journaling, talking to a supportive friend, or engaging in self compassion or creative expression? So, take your time to figure out what you can do during that time, if you don't already. What can you do which would help you soothe yourself and therefore restore your energy? I'm going to give you just a few moments to work on that. Then we'll come back and share some reflections. Okay, so this is all about restoring your emotional energy. So you could take a walk journal, practice mindfulness, do a grounding activity like walking barefoot in grass, or do breathing exercises like I've already mentioned with Wim Hof. So, what would you do? That's what this is all about. That's what this is asking. To build things into your daily routine. And sometimes maybe not even in your daily routine, but with self-compassion and traumatic feelings coming to light, you need things in your first aid box, as I would say, but your emotional first aid box. So think about that and think about all these things that you can do ordinarily. Things that you've got at your fingertips to turn to when you need them. Because everybody has got them. But there's one difference. What works for you may not work for somebody else. That's why I suggest things that you can do to help you, rather than telling you to do things. It's not my job. Guiding you is. So, what have we covered today? We've covered practicing mindfulness and how important that might be at stressful and overwhelming times. We've looked at how your body responds to self-care and which activities may help you reconnect with your physical self. We've also looked at small acts of self-compassion that you do daily or can build into a daily routine. And finally, we've looked at what to do when you're feeling emotionally drained and that all-important emotional health first aid kit. So before we go today, remember this. Share this to 10 of your friends and get another 10 to watch. And join me here again next Monday for another Imperfect TV Journaling Live. So I will see you then.
Imperfectly, perfectly, we grow step by step. We let the pain go. In this space we heal. You know it's all about the journey, not the show. Living imperfectly, perfect. It's true. We rise on our struggles, break through. Together we'll find something brand new. 'Cause living imperfect is what we do.
This is the United Kingdom, but not the one in your guidebook. I'm Gemma Blythe, and I'm exploring the UK in all its bold, weird, breathtaking glory. From hidden history to indie art scenes, cream teas to coastal hikes, this is the real journey. Honest, imperfect, unforgettable. It's not about checking boxes, it's about finding stories, one corner at a time. Life with Gemma Blythe, exploring the UK. New episodes every week. Subscribe and come wander. This is the United Kingdom, but not the one in your guidebook. I'm Gemma Blythe, and I'm exploring the UK in all its bold, weird, breathtaking glory. From hidden history to indie art scenes, cream teas to coastal hikes, this is the real journey. Honest, imperfect, unforgettable. It's not about checking boxes, it's about finding stories, one corner at a time. Life with Gemma Blythe, exploring the UK. New episodes every week. Subscribe and come wander. Perfectly, we grow step by step. We let the pain go. In this space, we heal. You know, it's all about the journey, not the show.